Let's talk about what nobody wants to talk about. Who here has ever failed? Who's here has failed miserably at something you wanted to achieve? Say I. Who's done this more than once? Say I. When you failed, why did you fail? Why are you suddenly tongue-tied? Come on, tell you what. What did you used to say the reason you failed when you were bullshitting yourself? You know I know better, so you're not telling me the truth. What did you used to say? I failed because? Okay, good. I didn't have enough money. What else? Didn't have the right technology. Good, sir. Why'd you fail? I had the wrong people. They say I had the wrong leader. Isn't that interesting? It was the economy. Bad economy. Not enough time. Didn't have enough time. Now, I asked this question for the first time about 7 years ago. I was at this place called TED. Anybody watching those TED videos? And TED didn't have a website or anything at that stage. It was a very small program. It was done for about 800 people in Silicon Valley, most of them billionaire investors, the founders of Yahoo, the founders of Apple, the founders of a whole series of companies. And I was brought in, and they say you got 18 minutes, which my shortest seminar is 4 fucking days. So I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And then before they introduced me, the guy who was introducing me wasn't the guy who invited me, and he was an English guy. We're good friends today. But back then, he didn't know who I was. He thought I was a motivator. So he got up and he said, first thing he said to me before I went out there, he goes, nice to meet you. Don't have people do that jumping shit I heard you do. So he wants me to take these dead people and leave them dead in this dark room sitting. And I watched before I got up to speak, and there was a woman who was a genius, and she was teaching string theory, which is one of the most complex things on earth. And they gave her 18 minutes, and people were shuffling their feet. And at the end, they didn't even clap for her. They were assholes. They all thought their shit didn't stink. These are all the achievers of the world. So I walk out there, and the introduction he gives me is Tonny Robbins is like a motivator, and he's helped a lot of sports people, so maybe you can, create some energy here. He had a very publicized divorce a few years ago. I couldn't fucking believe it. He really did say that. If you watch the TED video, he cut that out because he's embarrassed. So I got up afterwards and I said, God, it's a privilege to be here. I said, I didn't know that my divorce is very publicized, but my ex-wife is very happy. She has tens of millions of dollars, but I didn't come about that. I came to serve you. And then I was trying to figure out how to engage this room, so I asked them a question just asked you. I said, who here has ever failed? And no one raised their hand in the whole fucking room. So I paused and I said, I know you're out there. I can hear your hearts beating. Who here has ever failed? And I demanded an answer, and then a few people raised their hand. I said, who here has ever failed? And now they started to comply. So I said, great. When you failed, why did you fail? And they said all the things you said. Didn't have enough time, didn't have the right technology, didn't have the money, didn't have the contacts, had the wrong people. The people said we had the wrong leader, right? And then this voice in the darkness, the whole room was pitch black, says, I didn't have enough Supreme Court justices. And I looked down, and it's Vice President Al Gore, who you probably don't know much about American politics, but he and Bush Jr., they tied, basically, and it had to go to our Supreme Court to decide who's going to be it, and he lost. And when he said that, we were in Northern California, which is all Democrats, would have been supporters of his. They all stood up and gave him a standing ovation when he said this. And when they stopped the standing ovation, I said, that's one way to try to explain why you didn't become president of the United States. But I wouldn't say it's an accurate one. And there was this pause, like, what the fuck is he about to say? And I said, because let's just do this logically. Everything you people have told me, I didn't have the technology, I didn't have the right contacts, I didn't have the time, I didn't have money. Everything you've told me, I didn't have enough Supreme Court justices, those are resources. And so you're telling me I failed because I didn't have the resources, and I'm here to tell you what you already know. Resources are never the problem. It's a lack of resourcefulness is why you failed. Because the ultimate resources are emotional states. If you're creative enough, can you find the answer? Yes or no? If you're determined enough, can you find the breakthrough? Yes or no? If you're passionate, loving enough, can you get someone to help you? Yes or no? If there's no way that you're committed, can you find the money even if you don't have it? Yes or no? So I said creativity, decisiveness, passion, honesty, sincerity, love. These are the ultimate human resources. And when you engage these resources, you can get any other resource on earth. And I said, so you told me all the resources you're missing and you hypnotize yourself into believing that you don't have what you want because you don't have the resources, when the most successful people in history had no resources, but they were incredibly resourceful, so they got the resources. Resourcefulness is the ultimate resource. And if you don't have what you want, stop telling yourself the story because you don't have the money, you don't have the time. That's bullshit. It's because you haven't committed yourself where you would burn your boats. If you want to take the fucking island, burn your fucking boats, and you will take the island, because people, when they're going to either die or succeed, tend to succeed. But most of us give ourselves a way out, and that's why we don't have what we want. So if you and I really want to know what's going to take to get your dream and make it real, it's to stop all the things you told yourself that aren't. And I'm here to tell you what I said at the top of our discussion. 80% of success is psychology and 20% is mechanics. That's true of running your business. That's true of your intimate relationship. That's true of your body. That's true in your level of happiness. So you got to know the 20% because that gives you the edge, right? Those strategies, but you got to know the psychology. If you're in business right now, there's a few things. The chokehold, since, again, how many own a business? So I'm real clear. Really do own a business. You're not thinking about it, you own one. Raise your hand so I can see. Shit, most of you, I'm impressed. So if you own your business, I'll tell you right now, the chokehold on the growth of your business is you. It is not your people. It is the leader of this organization. The leader is the chokehold, and the chokehold comes in one of two forms. Your psychology. You think you've tried everything. You've tried everything but what fucking works. Who knows what I'm talking about here, right? Or it's a skill that you're missing. Like you really are incredible at writing code, but you don't know shit about accounting and finance, and it's eating your business alive. Because I gotta tell you, 96% of all businesses in a 10-year period of time go under. Only 4% make it. By the way, make it doesn't mean that you succeed and have any money. It just means you're still standing. 4%. And by the way, after 10 years, you're set, right? There's no more challenges. Ever heard of a company called Lehman Brothers? Right? 100-year-old company. If you took their gross revenues and added them up, it'd be $1 trillion over the decades. $1 trillion with a T, and they're no longer here. That's how competitive the world is today. So if you got in a business and you're in it right now, I love you, I respect you as a brother or sister, and I know you're a crazy son of a bitch just like me. You have to be. Who gets in a sport where the longer you play, the more likely you die? You're a gladiator if you're in business. A gladiator goes out there and they know every time I go out, I can die, and the longer I stay in the game, the more likely I die, but every day they go out to win. That takes an incredible psychology. But in that psychology, we bump onto limits, and that's what you got to shift. And if your psychology is solid, then you got to say, where are the skills I'm missing? Because that's equally important. If you don't know how to market in the world we're in today, if you don't know the cutting edge of marketing, I'm only here today. I have the privilege to be with you here. How many of you are in this room because you listened to an audio, you read a book, or a friend? Let me separate. How many are here because you read an audio, read a book, or listened to an audio, and that created the basis for you to want to be here? Wow. How many are here because somebody told you got to go see this guy? Let me see your hands. You saw that. Let me see your hands, nice and high, so you can look around the room. So about 85% of the room. I created a brand, and that's why I have the privilege to serve you. But that brand came because I realized early in my career, I could have the best ideas in the world, but they're gonna die on my lips unless I can market them, unless I can build a brand. It is the most important thing today because the world is made up of commodities. The world is so competitive. If you're a commodity, if you're a race for the lowest price, you will be out of business within 10 years, probably more like 2 to 5. You have to have something that separates you from everybody else on earth, and until you find out that something, you will be stressed and you will be struggling. But everybody has it, or anybody can create it. That's my expertise. My companies, I started with 0. We do more than 5 billion with a B per year, my companies, combined. How the fuck did you do that when it's not even your focus? Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that very much.
All the things I know right now, if I only knew back then, there's no getting over.
I appreciate the applause, but I'm not telling you for that reason. I want you to get, I was never even out to be successful in business. I had a mission, but I realized I have to master business or that mission is gonna die. And you gotta get that too. Because otherwise you're gonna be one of the many, you're gonna work your ass off and not have what you deserve. So this is an area that deserves mastery, not dabbling. And probably most of you in this room work your ass off on your business, and you're so working in the business, you're not working on the business. I know you know the difference. And if you do, you're not getting distinctions that are cutting edge. One right strategy can save you 10 years, but you gotta go get it. You can't just keep doing what you're doing and then pumping yourself back up. So you gotta get the skills. Marketing is one of those skills. Selecting the right people is everything. Who selected the wrong person, and as a result, it costs your business big time. Either in a partner, salesperson, something, raise your hand and say, I. You gotta develop a system, pick the right people. You live and die by that. And we all know it's not the person that you hire that hurts you, it's the one you don't fire. So knowing how to pick the right people, knowing how to train those people, knowing what you're gonna do in sales, knowing what you're gonna do in marketing, knowing what you're gonna do in the financial side of your business is everything. You have to master these things. You can't hope and expect your business to be there. So how many of you have a college education in this room? Who's got a college education? Keep your hands up nice and high. How many feel like, clap like crazy if you agree. If you disagree, go, eh. How many of you agree that your college education prepared you for life in the 21st century to give you the greatest results you could possibly get for your body, for your mind, for your business? However, how many wouldn't have traded that experience because there are other things in it that are priceless for you? Relationships, insight, say I. So it might be time for you to up your education. You kind of came here as a taste of that. I'm telling you because if you're in business, come see me. I'm doing a program you can fly and see it around the world, or you can see a program here in Australia, but you gotta come up from the business piece. Let me serve you. I'm not holding back today. It deserves the 5 days and nights. And oh, by the way, if you make an investment today, what kind of return are you hoping to get? You, sir, you invest in your money, what's the return you're looking for? Real, in the real world, today. No, I'm asking you, what return do you want on a dollar investment? If you invest your money, what are you hoping to get as a return on an annual basis? What are you looking for on an annual basis? 20 to 1. And how often are you doing that? Good try. How many of you would love to get a 20% return? Think that would be extraordinary investment? Say I. If you want to come to an event with me, it's $10,000, that means a $2,000 return. If I can't get you $1 million return, you shouldn't come. If I can't get you immediately in the next year a 130% return, you don't pay anything. I'm not selling you, I'm telling you, don't let this be the end, let it be the beginning. Who's with me on this? Say I. Having said that, if I never see you again, let me give you fundamentally the structure and how to break through on anything. And here's what it is briefly, breakthrough. What is a breakthrough, by the way, so we're clear? If you say you're having a breakthrough, who's ever had a breakthrough? You fought, and then you had a breakthrough. Who's had this happen before? Say I. A breakthrough is when there's something you struggle with for a long time. You say you're gonna change, you say you're gonna make it happen, you're gonna lose that weight, you're gonna grow your revenues, you're gonna make that profit, you're gonna make something happen, you're gonna find that relationship, you're gonna stop smoking, and you get right near the edge, and then you pull back. Who's done this multiple times before, but then finally had a breakthrough. You broke through and actually changed it. Say I. So jot down what a breakthrough is, and let me give you the 3 steps of it. A breakthrough is a moment in time. That's what it is. It's a moment in time. It's a moment where suddenly what was impossible becomes possible. And what makes it possible is you take immediate massive what? Immediate massive what? Action. For that to happen, for the impossible to become possible, and for you to have action that's going to get results, really, I found over the years, any kind of breakthrough that you're going to have requires 3 things to it. And if you never see me again, and you're ever in a place where you say, I'm sick of fighting this, I'm sick of not getting results I want, I don't want to just learn more, I want to break through. If you remember this and go back to this simple formula, and by the way, I've made this simple purposely. You know why? Complexity is the enemy of execution. The more complex you make it, the less likely you're going to execute. I'm so good at getting people to do things because I make it so damn simple, you can't miss it. So let's do it. What's it going to take to have a breakthrough? Before I tell you, let's have you think of an area where you once fought and you finally had a breakthrough. For you personally, what's an area where you pushed and pushed and pushed, you couldn't do it, and you finally made yourself do it and broke through? How many can think of a specific area of your life where you actually did create a breakthrough? Say I, if you can remember one. Oh, say it strong. Say I. Say I. What was that area? Say it out loud. What was the area? Just say it out loud. What area did you break through in? Say it out loud. What was the area? Okay? So now, you've had success before. Let's do it again. I'm going to show you the 3 things you need for a breakthrough. Any one of the 3 can do it. All 3 of them together, you will absolutely break through. And I'm going to give them to you in reverse order of importance, meaning I'm going to tell you the least important thing first because it's the first thing most of you go for. It's not the most important, but it's very important. Now, before I do it, I want you right now to think of an area you want to break through right now. What's an area of your life right now that you'd like to create a breakthrough? How many can think of something you came here for? I want to change this. I want to rip this open. I want to transform this. I want to master this. Who's got an area of your life right now? Great. Sit up in your chair with some energy right now. Sit up in your chair. Make sure the people on either side of you are in a peak state right now. Come on, get them up in a peak state. Show them what a peak state looks like by your example. Come on now. Come on now. Wake it up. Come on. Wake them up. Wake them up. Come on. Whoa. All right, right now, pick an area you want to create a breakthrough in. What's an area you want to create a breakthrough in? Money, finance. Great. What specifically do you want to create a breakthrough about money or finance? I'd like some money. Now here's the problem. Ask and you shall. So if she says, I'd like some money, I could give her $1 and go, okay, now you got some money. Let's move on. If you're that general, you're probably getting what you're asking for. You just don't realize it because you're too general. What's the breakthrough you want with money? To be able to travel the world. And what prevents that from happening now? Money. So we now know what a real problem is. I'm going to show you what a real problem is in a moment. Somebody else, what's the breakthrough you want? What's the breakthrough? Tell me. Raise your hand. What's the breakthrough? What's the breakthrough you want, sir? What is it? To be a leader for my family. What's preventing you from being a leader for your family? My mindset. What specific mindset? What focus? I'm just not focused enough. Now, I want you to listen to people's answers because you're going to see why people aren't changing because it's so general. Someone else, be honest. What's the area you want to break through in? Yes, ma'am. What do you want to break through in? She goes, I want to break through in clarity of what I want to do with my career. What do you want to do with your career? You don't know. I know you don't know, but if you did know and had to tell me right now, what would you say? I want to be up there talking to thousands of people. She doesn't know, and then when I say, I know you don't know, what's the answer? She fucking tells me the answer instantly. She just has a habit of saying, I don't know. And when you say, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, over and over again, you tell yourself a story, you begin to believe that story. And once you believe it, it's manifest. How many of you have ever had, when you're a kid, you're eating dinner, your parent says to you, could you get me the salt? And you're enjoying your meal, you don't want to get up, so you don't lie, you say, I don't know where the salt is. It's not a lie, you don't know its exact position in this moment of time. And your parent says, you know where it's in the kitchen. You go, I don't know where the salt is, you go get me I don't know, you get me the salt right now. What do you say in your head? As you walk in the kitchen, I don't know where the salt is, I don't know where the salt is, I don't know where the salt is. You open the cabinet, really do look. It's not here, it's on the second shelf, they tell you. You think, I don't know where the salt is, I don't know where the salt is, you look and say, it's not here. They come storming the kitchen, they reach right in front of your face, and they go, what is this? Who's ever had one of these experiences? Say, I. Now here's my question. Did your eyes see the salt, yes or no? Yes, your eyes saw the salt, but your mind did not allow you to perceive the salt because you told yourself a story over and over again, a belief over and over again, and it didn't want to make you a liar with yourself, so you created what's called a scotoma, or a blind spot. Now, if you listen to all the people here, they're all searching, so let me give you the answer. 3 keys to a breakthrough. Think of the area you want to have a breakthrough in right now. Your body, your money, your relationships, your career, your business, your joy, your happiness, and let's look at what your choices are. First element, there are 3 S's for a breakthrough. First element most people are looking for is they're looking for the right strategy. They're saying, if I could find the right strategy, I could get this result right now. And by the way, my life, I am a life and business strategist. All I do virtually is seek out the world for fine strategies. I find people have been together for 60 years and they don't just love each other, they're intimate, they're passionate, they make love. And I want to know, what do they have different than other people? And I don't think it's luck, and I know it's not luck, and I figure out what their strategies are. They do things that excite each other. And I find out what those things are, and you can put them in anybody's relationship and it's reignited. I find people, I just got done doing a 4-year project where I interviewed 50 of the most wealthy human beings on earth, the greatest investors in history. And these are all people that started with nothing and became multi-billionaires. And I interviewed them, put it inside the book, the very best of what I've learned. I got a PhD from the people that control the world economy. from the Warren Buffetts of the world, from the Ray Dalias of the world. And once I knew what their strategies are, like right now, one of the strategies I put in my book, it's called Money Master the Game, and I believe it's in Australia now. I think it's coming. Is it here yet? A few of you have seen here? In this book, I got one of them to actually give me his strategy, and this man named Ray Dalio. He's the largest hedge fund in the world. This is a guy that rich people, they have money to give to a hedge fund guy. The big hedge funds are 15 billion. Ray is 160 billion. He's 10 times larger than anyone on earth. You have to have $1 billion net worth and give him $100 million 10 years ago to even begin investing with him. Now he doesn't care how much money you have, he won't take your money. And I got him to give me the strategy that he has all of his personal money and he's never told it to anyone on earth, and I put it in the book because I convinced him you're not taking anybody's money anyway, so you're not getting, all the money you could ever take, you're taking, you're giving up half your net worth. I'm going to give this to the average person. Anybody that followed the strategy last year beat the stock market. The stock market in the US was 13.2, it did 15.6. In October last year, his strategy, not mine, I just got it from him. The stock market, the Dow dropped 1,000 points in 1 month. It dropped 6%. This went up 0.2%. First 7 days of this year, the market was down 3%. This is up 1%. Right now, it's up 3.5%. The market's up, 2.25%. And in the last 75 years, it's made money 85% of the time. Well, imagine. And when it lost, it only lost 1.6%. And when it wins an average of 10%. If you could go to Vegas and win 85% of the time at 10% and only lose 1.6, 15% of the time, how often would you fucking play? It's in the book. That strategy you do once a year, you rebalance it, and you're done. That's how powerful it is, and it's only not worked twice, 2008 and in 1932, and in both cases, it did twice as good as everything else, but it did lose money. Now, that's the power of a fucking strategy. But getting it from the best on earth, that's what I do. Now to do that, I spent time, energy, money, effort. It didn't interrupt me. I had to pursue it. I had to expect no answers, but I want the answer, and I got it. So I know the power of strategies if anybody else does. But I want to tell you, most of you want to lose weight, you're looking for the strategy. You want a relationship, you're looking for the strategy. You look at business, you want your strategy. All good things. The right strategy, save you years, save you decades. Convert results in minutes that you would have struggled for forever. So I know the value of strategies. But with all that I just said about strategies, they're not the most important piece to a breakthrough. Because think about it, 70% of the United States is overweight. I don't know the current number in Australia, but it's starting to catch up to the US. Most of the world is catching up to the US. We've polluted everybody else with the same lifestyle. And so guess what? Is it really that hard to be fit and strong? Is it so complex that you'll never understand it? Is that why? Is the strategy complex for fit and strength, to be fit and strong, yes or no? Is it like so unique and special that only the 1% can afford it? No. In fact, don't you have to work your ass off to avoid the information that can make you fit and strong? In fact, today, God forbid, if you wanted to go work out and be trained, how far would I have to leave this building to get to a place where they would train me? How far? There's one right over there, isn't there? And we'd probably drive there. God forbid we'd actually walk to the place we're going to work out and shit, right? And oh, by the way, you don't have to do that. Now you can take out your phone or your iPad right now and download 10 books. We're living in a world where the strategies are all around you. So strategy may be your problem. Often it is, but more often you're missing the number 2 thing you need, and that is the right story. Because the story you have about your life, or about your business, about the area of your life that's not where you want, the area you're breaking through, your story is what's making you be stuck. What's a story? It's a belief that you tell yourself over and over again, like, I don't know what the salt is, I don't know what the salt is. And you tell the story so often you believe it. A man once said, you tell a lie big enough, loud enough, and long enough, sooner or later people will believe you. Who said that? Hitler. And most of us are Hitler in our own minds. We convince ourselves of challenges. So when a person says, well, I've tried, someone who hasn't lost weight, they'll say, I've tried. Come on, what do they say? I tried everything. Bullshit. If you tried everything, you'd be fit and strong. Well, I've tried thousands of ways. Thousands? Name them. Well, I've tried hundreds. Name them. Well, I've tried dozens. Name them. Well, I did do these 2 stupid things that don't work over and over again. Mine was, I'm big boned. I am big boned, but I was 38 pounds heavier with the same bones. So we often say things that are true to back things up. They are true, you're big bone, but that is not why you're fat, right? So the story keeps us from it. If you don't have the relationship you want, what's the story? All the good ones are gone, and they're gay and I'm not, or they're not gay and I am. That's the story. The story is there. In fact, write this down. The only thing keeping you from getting what you want, the only thing keeping you from getting what you want is the story you keep telling yourself about why you don't have it. The only thing keeping you from getting what you really want is the story you keep telling yourself about why you don't have it yet. Here's what I say. Divorce your story and marry the truth. Divorce your story and marry the truth. And don't make it one of those divorces where you revisit with your old past belief system again. Divorce it, cut it off, and marry the truth. The truth will set you what? But you got to develop the empowering story, because without that, now some of you think an empowering story is the one that allows you to keep going at what doesn't work. I'm not talking about a story where you cover your ass and explain that you're still going to achieve what you want someday in the future, because no one can argue with that because the future's not here, but really you're not doing anything to change significant. Who knows what I'm talking about here? Say I. So you've got to find a story that's going to empower you to act, a story that's going to get you to find the breakthrough, because otherwise, with a lousy story, you'll never find the strategy, or you'll come up with a reason why it's too expensive, you can't get there, you can't access it, or you'll even get the strategy and then half-assed apply it just so you can reward your story that says it doesn't work because I tried it. Like, it's all bullshit, it's bullshit, it's bullshit, it's bullshit. Jumping and doing something different in your head. Of course it's not going to work, you're not doing it. It's self-fulfilling. How many follow this? Say I. So I want you to get, this is the secret. And by the way, I don't want to make it so strategy doesn't matter, because it does. Let me give you a quick example. Is there a single guy here? Raise your hand if you're a single guy. Let me just see a quick example. Single guys here. And if you're a single guy, raise your hand. I've got so many good examples here. All right, single guys, single guys. Okay, so how about this gentleman right here? Stand up, sir. Give him a hand. Give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, give it up in an Aussie hand. All right. What's your name? What is it? Jesse. Jesse, I'm going to get your microphone. Jesse, I bet you're going to get this, because Jesse's he's a good kid. You can feel him. So I think you're going to get the answer. So it'd probably be anticlimactic, but let me just ask you. Jesse, I want you to imagine that you're driving in your car with a girl you're dating. Yeah. And as you're driving, she says to you, Jesse, do you need to stop to pee? And you know you don't. What do you say?
Well, I don't need to pee. Like,
I don't need to pee.
what a weird thing to ask.
I don't need to pee. Now, ladies, how do you feel when you ask the guy, do you need to pee? Do you need to stop to get a drink? And he just goes, no. Ladies, make a sound of how that makes you feel. Make a sound. Go. Oh, come on. Make it loud so he hears it. Go. One more time.
Do I need to ask if she needs to pee? So.
It's a quick study. Here's what you're missing. This is why you're single. When a woman asks, do you need to stop for a drink, you need to pee, women don't really mean what they say. They give you clues and want you to be a detective and uncover what they mean, because this proves that you really care. It's quite complex, this shit, but I'm going to educate you right now. So when she says, do you need to stop to pee, your response should never be no, because you don't have to pee, or yes, because you have to pee. Your response should always be, honey, do you need to pee? And then she'll say, I don't know, because women need to talk to see if they have to pee. They have to speak and then see if they have to do it. And then she'll probably pause and you go, you know, honey, I think we should stop. Don't make her say yes, you just make it happen. Now, ladies, if you did that, give him a little response. So is this man, is this a good young man? Is he yes or no? Is he nice? Is he sweet? Is he kind? He just doesn't fucking know that women don't mean what they say. So he doesn't have the right strategy, so she's gonna be pissed at him. How many guys have ever had a woman suddenly be pissed at you and you're going, I did nothing? Gentlemen, make some noise. Make some noise if it's true. You don't have to do anything. They just get to change states. So what you have to do is read the tea leaves. Now, to be fair, let's give Jesse a big hand. Give him a big hand for that. be fair, let's balance it out. Where is a single lady in here? Single lady, raise your hand. Single women, raise your hand. Oh, come on, there's more single ladies than that. Single ladies, single ladies, single ladies, single ladies, so many. Single ladies. Okay. So many great choices. So many choices. Okay. All right, give her a hand. What's your name? Where are you from?
My name's Liz. I'm from Sydney.
It's Liz from Sydney, ladies and gentlemen. No, you didn't hear me. I said it's Liz from Sydney. Let me hear you. Okay, Liz, I'm going to give you a little test. You find a man very attractive. You're very interested in him. You develop the courage to go up to him, start a conversation, and then you say to him, hey, listen, would you like to have lunch maybe next Thursday? And he says, no.
Right.
What does it mean?
Probably.
Honestly, what does it mean? What does your gut say it means? First, he says no.
He's not interested.
He what?
He's not interested. He doesn't want to have lunch with me.
He's not interested. Now, he said no, and then she made up a whole fucking story in her head. This is what women do. What else do you tell you? He's not interested? What else do you think? He's probably
got a girlfriend.
got a girlfriend, fucking gay.
He's gay.
Yeah, right? Gay, girlfriend, what else?
He's stupid.
He's stupid. Okay, now I want you to notice why she's single. Because all he said was no. So I'm going to help you. In the women's world, they say shit and you have to make it up what it means. In a man's world, we actually say what we fucking mean. It's fucking crazy. If a guy, guys, are you with me? If a guy says to me, do you have lunch on Thursday? And I say, no, guys, what does it fucking mean? What does it mean? Just means no. It doesn't mean I'm not into you. Doesn't mean I'm having sex with someone else. Doesn't mean I'm gay. It just means no to fucking Thursday.
How about Friday?
Give her a hand, ladies and gentlemen.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Give her a hand.
Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone. What doesn't kill you makes you fighter. What does keep it lighter? Doesn't mean I'm over. 'Cause you know what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Can you see how her story would get in the way of a strategy that would work? Yes or no? Can you see how his strategy, lack of understanding, would make women make up a story about him at times? Yes or no? So they all affect each other, don't they? But the glue that holds you in place is the story. If you want to grow a business, I can teach you a million strategies that will change you overnight. And if I get you to use a strategy and grow your business 30% like that, you are going to get so excited that your story about your business will change, won't it? You're like, I can rip this open. I'm going to make this thing 100% more profitable. That's why 80% of those people, I can grow them 30 to 130%. Because once I get into momentum, people's story changes. And when their story changes, the third and most important thing changes, their state. Because that's what really changes it all. And that's why when I first came in the audience, I was listening to what you wanted, why I changed all my content today to give you what I delivered. Because I realized since you want so many different things, to have a breakthrough, the most important one is state.